What's going on, guys? We are back for what's going on, guys? We are back for part 4. This is your guy JAMEENOD. I hope you are having a great night. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys have been amazing. Joining me on this journey. The next documentary that I will be doing will be either the Bad Boy Pistons or What is a Woman. I'm going to end up doing both, but I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to do first. So I will be doing that, giving my commentary on that. Hopefully y'all been enjoying that. With that being said, let's get to it, man. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Let's get into it.
I didn't handle Barkley before the incident.
People always say, turn the other cheek. If you turn the other cheek, I'm gonna hit you another cheek too.
I thought, what are you doing, Charles? The guy is half your size, but you know, Charles was an equal opportunity abuser.
Erlander Coimbra did not think it was a friendly elbow.
That's the same guy that just asked you for an autograph, Charles. I mean, you think he's not intimidated?
I think he's acting like a bullying, but maybe it's from his personality.
The United States has defeated Angola by the score of 116 to 48.
The game may have ended in a rout, but afterwards, the result was overshadowed by the controversy.
Who else with the elbow?
Well, he hit me, I hit him. That's the way it is.
Charles made you look like the ugly Americans, which we were trying not to do.
We said to Charles, look, man, you're a reflection of all of us. So if you do it, they're not going to write the article that Charles Barkley did. They're going to say the dream team.
Barkley had stained a dream debut for the Americans. But in their next game against Croatia, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan grabbed the spotlight, with the focus on their matchup with one of Europe's best players, Toni Kukoc.
Major storyline that carries into this game involves Toni Kukoc, second-round pick of the Chicago Bulls. Back in 1989, the Bulls made a strong push to sign him last season.
At that time, general managers in the league were trying to come up with gems, make their discoveries overseas. And Krause thought this guy could play in the NBA.
While Jordan and Pippen had been winning back-to-back titles, Chicago GM Jerry Krause had been publicly wooing Kukoc to join the Bulls.
Krause was recruiting this guy and talking how great he was. That's like a father who has all his kids and now he sees another kid that he loves more than he loves his own. So we were not playing against Toni Kukoc. We were playing against Jerry Krause in a Croatian uniform.
But unfortunately for the real Toni Kukoc, he was now the target of the world's two best defensive players.
They was debating who was going to guard him. No, I got it. No, I got it.
I'm looking at Michael and Scottie, and they're ready for, blood. Man.
We knew the world was going to be watching. We knew everyone wanted to see what Toni Kukoc was like, and we were going to give him the worst experience he ever had on the basketball court.
Pippen drew the initial assignment of shadowing Kukoc and harassed the Croatian from the opening whistle.
It was hard to run across the half court without a ball. And with the ball, it was just, here, somebody else get it.
Toni definitely wasn't getting a shot up, and he wasn't going to score.
Kukoc is nothing for 4, and he's contributed nothing.
We wanted to go guard him on the bench.
Kukoc is called for the offensive foul, and the pressure continues.
And after Pippen wore Kukoc down, it was Jordan's turn.
Kukoc, stolen by Jordan. He reads it better than anyone. Slam dunk.
Them dudes were all...
I have to say this. They drafted Toni Kukoc, and what Jordan said is still on my mind. He said it was like loving an adopted child more than your own 2 children. They took that personally. That never left my mind. I was still thinking about that. And if Michael Jordan said that, oh, he meant it. This guy said, it was like he loved like an adopted child over his two very own children. That is very, very deep. Man, oof.
He reads it better than anyone. Slam dunk.
Them dudes were all over him.
Rejecting Kukoc. Here's a 3-on-2. Pippen.
I had questions from my teammates during the game, like, what is going on? Do you not see that they're really trying to get you off the court? And I'm like, so what? I guess that's how NBA game is played.
Pippen, Jordan, and the Americans cruised to another victory. This one by 38 points. But the domination had its detractors.
This team of All-Stars is almost too good. Is it a positive or a negative?
The question was now being asked, was the Dream Team too great for its own good?
This team of All-Stars is almost too good. Some think that we should go back to the collegians. It's been too easy.
I think then we ought to ban the African runners from the 10,000 meters because they make it look so easy as well. This is about our best, and this is wonderful for the sport of basketball.
Irvin, there's been some comments that the Dream Team is getting all the attention, and there seems to be some resentment about it. Have you heard about it, and do you have any feelings about it?
Basically, we haven't heard about it. We're just here to do our job.
The media may have been looking for signs of a backlash, but in Barcelona and in the world beyond, the embrace of the Dream Team was universal.
You're gonna stand out and root against Picasso? I mean, seriously. They rooted for genius at work.
I kept thinking that the attention would dissipate. They're gonna play the first game, they're gonna win by 60. People are gonna go back and watch Trek.
Jordan in transition with a slam to give Team USA a 60-point lead.
It didn't. It kept building and building and building.
The U.S. with another trouncing 127-83, 127 points.
Workers were trying to get autographs. The security people were trying to get autographs. All the athletes were standing on side like a parade.
Won the ball fake by Scottie Pippen. It is a 58-point lead.
People perceived us as being superheroes.
This was a blowout on the U.S. men's Olympic team.
The guy on the bench is taking pictures, and I said, wow, we are having an effect over here.
Wrap around past the Wrexham.
Could you imagine? The guy on the end of the bench on the other team is taking pictures while you're... These were not games. These were showcases. These were showcases. The man packed a camera. Packed a camera, guys, to take pictures. I can imagine right now, he's showing his grandkids here. And this is when Jordan dunked on me. I told my teammate to take a picture. And this is right here. You see that score? I took a picture of the score. They beat us by 100 points. Yeah, I was there. I was on that team. They beat by 100 points. This is crazy. Crazy.
Are having an effect over here.
Wrap around past the Wrexham.
Another easy victory in this, their 5th game of the Olympics.
It was as if the President of the United States was in the midst of a caravan that was going through the streets.
It was like the Beatles, where there's thousands and thousands of people waiting all the time.
That was the most exhilarating 15 seconds of my life.
We're like, wow, this is amazing.
No one member of the Dream Team reveled in the Olympic experience more than Charles Barkley. After throwing the controversial elbow against Angola, Barkley had emerged as the team's most visible player.
Everybody always had the same question. How much of an ass is Charles Barkley.
Hey, Jack, when am I going to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated for this stuff? I should be on the Dream Team cover.
And then every time you'd go spend time with him, you'd just realize that he was the most enjoyable act, not only in all of sports, but possibly in all of pop culture.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. I just want to be like Mike.
Right away, I told my editors, I said, well, the number one angle here is what is Charles doing?
And if you wanted the answer to that question, all you had to do was follow the crowds.
They're like, we don't want you guys out and about because we don't know how safe it is. And I'm like, dude, I'm at the Olympics. I'm not going to stay in my room the whole time.
So Barkley strolled Los Ramblas, a man of the people if ever there was one.
Man, I walked up and down the Ramblas every night, and the people were fantastic. They all wanted autographs and wanted to take pictures.
We could be inside the hotel. Soon we heard the big roar. We said, there go Charles. So Charles would be walking, and then thousands would be following him everywhere he went. He was the Pied Piper.
Charles Barkley decided to do his own media cleanup. Charles Barkley played at daytime, and at nighttime he cleaned up everything he did bad in that first game. He did his media cleanup at night, guys. That's what he was doing. That's what he was doing.
Everywhere he went, he was the Pied Piper.
Charles would go over to the village and find the Angolan players and hang out along the Ramblas at night. He was the most memorable person of the 1992 Olympics.
I just saw this touch he had. I don't think anybody else in the world could have done it besides Charles Barkley. At the end of the day, he was America's best ambassador.
Barkley was celebrated for experiencing the Olympics on his own terms. More quietly, one of his teammates found a way to do the same.
We had the motorcycle escorts and we bussed through traffic like Dick Tracy. But this one day we got stuck in traffic and we're just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. Finally I said, that's it. Let's go. Anybody wants to go with me, I'm heading.
He'd get off the bus and his family met him. He started walking right through the middle of everybody and nobody noticed him. I'm still on the bus, seeing him walk down the street, and I'm saying to myself, I would give anything to do what he just did.
See, guys, this is called the rhombus. See all the footprints? All right.
So Los Ramblas, it's like Times Square or something. There's just so many people walking. I'm 6'1", I'm about the average size of everybody else on that little walk. So I'm walking with my family and I have the camera and nobody's noticing me.
You think it's the sunglasses that's fooling them? Must be. Hi, you from America?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? Whereabouts?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. You been watching the Dream Team at all?
Yeah, I watch.
They're pretty good, aren't they? Yeah.
No attention whatsoever. Finally, we ran across this lady who had the Dream Team and all the pictures on her T-shirt.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you an American?
But of course.
You look wonderful.
Why, thank you.
She started speaking real excitedly about each of the players. And I said, have you had a chance to meet anyone?
Of course. We met Charles Barkley the other night.
Did ya? He's a hell of a player. See, you got all the players right there on your shirt. Is Charles the only one you've ever seen?
The only ones I've ever met.
Hey, guys, do you know any of those guys on there?
I think my oldest son, Houston, ruined the surprise.
That's my dad. Your dad?
That's your dad? Too bad he's not here.
You play on a team?
I do, yeah.
Who is that guy?
That had to be the most satisfying, but at the same time, it had to suck at the same time. You put all this work in your whole life. High school, college, NBA. You make the dream team. Probably the hardest team to make ever. And you're not noticed. And let's be real. Because he wasn't some 6'7" black guy. But he's one of the best players in the world at that time. That had to suck. But at that moment in time, it probably had to be, great because you ain't got people crowding you. You can walk through, spend time with your family. But Yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
I do, yeah.
Who is that guy?
I can't go anywhere without being bugged. Really not much different from Michael Jordan walking through here.
For the players, surreal experiences had become the norm. But even more memorable were the unlikely friendships developing behind the curtain.
It was a unique mix. You know, Larry Bird and Patrick Ewing became like best friends. I got a white guy from Indiana, and I got a brother from Jamaica.
Patrick said I could pick his mind. It took me 3 minutes. Now he gets a chance to come back and start picking on mine.
Took me one. We were probably the two of the most unlikely people you thought that would be friends. But if you look, not only Larry and I got to be great friends, but all of those guys got to be much better friends.
We all enjoyed each other. We all enjoyed the ride. And we got a sense of each other as men. Then, when we got to the court, it made it even better.
The Dream Team's chemistry turned out to be the hallmark of their success, as the players closed in on what they came for.
Barkley now over the side leading cheers.
Their big margins of victory may have been a testament to their dominance, but numbers couldn't capture what made watching them so unforgettable.
Guys played the best basketball you've ever seen in your life. They was literally like great poetry or great art.
At times you feel you're watching a performance, a concert, rather than a basketball competition.
This was fun. This was like, it's how basketball's supposed to be.
And at the center of the fun was the team's biggest star, who had come to Barcelona at the peak of his powers and shown how much his popularity had exploded.
I will say this one thing about Michael Jordan. I've been around other celebrities in my life. I've never seen people react like they do to him. People go crazy when they see him.
In every corner of the world, there was someone who just wanted to see him.
Please, Michael Jordan!
No one had the sort of pull, the gravity that Michael Jordan had.
Jordan had initially come to Barcelona reluctantly, but an early morning trip just before the gold medal game revealed how meaningful.
I guess it's fair to say during that time, he was the Michael Jackson of that band. It was a new era. It was the 90s era. You see that? He changed the game with them shoes, his style of play. You know, he changed the game to this day. To this day. If I had to think of like players who changed the game the most, you know, iconic, Jordan. Man, I have to go with Steph, of course, man. Shoot those threes. He changed the whole NBA. I think for the worse, unfortunately. Allen Iverson, the way players carry themselves when it comes to clothing, tattoos, everything. LeBron, I would have to say, how everyone moves in the NBA today, and that's been a good thing and a bad thing. And then you have the Magic and Larry Bird, who started it all. The Godfathers, I like to say.
But an early morning trip just before the gold medal game revealed how meaningful his Olympic experience had become.
What time in the morning is it right now?
6:30, 6:45, 7, something like that. And I'm drinking coffee, so it's gotta be early. Can we go now? Where you from?
Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Big fan of yours. Everyone's a big fan of yours.
Your name? George Hirsch. George, how you doing? I'm doing Michael George, nice to meet you. Last night I hit my wall, man.
Did you?
I couldn't make a basket.
What are you doing up so early?
I do remember getting up early to walk into the stadium.
That is the thing that I remember the most about the Olympics.
Olympic Stadium. Imagine all the athletes that's been here before us. It's amazing. What about Edwin Moses?
122 consecutive races. I think everybody's got something to cherish. I think this is something that my kids are gonna love one day.
The Dream Team squared off against Croatia again in the gold medal game, offering the world one more lasting impression of their supremacy.
Barkley with the lead for Mullen. Behind the back, Drexler.
Team USA came to send a message tonight.
We wanted to win and we wanted to dominate, but how we did it, sharing the ball, including everybody. We did it as a true team.
The U.S. has defeated Croatia 117-85, and they have won the gold here in Barcelona.
Campeón olímpico y medalla de oro, el equipo de los Estados Unidos de América.
There was never really any doubt the Dream Team would win gold in 1992. But as they walked back onto the court to get their medals, the moment still overwhelmed them.
You saw a lot of tears from players. It was a very proud moment for me because anytime you represent your country, you know, that's a prideful thing.
Man, sent chills down my spine. It was a reward that I had never felt like that I would ever achieve. To do it on that stage with those group of guys, it's a memory I'll never forget.
Nothing in my life has ever felt like standing on that podium. I was getting goosebumps.
Every single time I heard the national anthem after that had a different significance to me. I knew what it really meant, you know.
As a young kid growing up, I used to watch Olympics on TV with my father, and all he talked about was the Star Spangled Banner and the gold medal. It made him feel proud to be American. Being up on that podium that night and receiving it, my father, he'd been pretty proud.
All those emotions just overcame me. I got to be one of the guys one more time for my country.
Man, listening to that, we need that back. Like, the way they're talking about it, it just, how it felt amazing to be an American, to bring something back for your country, even though they destroyed everybody. That feeling was still there and very strong. It was one of their best accomplishments. Even though I think it was harder to win an NBA championship at that time, but to represent your country and to bring such a positive light towards your country, it was like nothing like it. And I could just imagine, you know, I was so young, so how you guys feel who were able to experience that, you know, the way they described it.
I got to be one of the guys one more time for my country. I said, man, I'll never forget this moment. You know, if this is the end, this is how I wanted to go out.
This group may well be the greatest team ever assembled in the history of team sports.
But when the medal ceremony was over, another realization began to settle in.
When I walked off, I remember thinking that whole dream has come to an end.
The next season, every Olympian except Magic Johnson and Larry Bird would return to the NBA. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen would win their third title against Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns. On the way to 6 championships overall, the last 3 with Tony Kukoc. Eventually, other members of the team would also win titles. But each NBA player on the Dream Team would reach the Hall of Fame. Still, it's what they did together that summer that had the biggest impact on the game. An impact that continues to grow today.
It really lifted basketball, and it gave birth to international stars who had nothing to do with those games in '92, but who took so much from it.
We made the game a worldwide game. You know, I talked to Tony Parker, I talked to Ginobili, I talked to Dirk Nowitzki. Those guys say their first love of basketball started with the Dream Team, and I'm really proud of that.
The world can change a lot in 20 years. But there are moments in time you never forget, no matter how long it's been. No matter how much else has changed in your life since. 20 years later, they've all kept ties to the game in one way or another. And they all talk about the summer of '92 as if it happened just yesterday. An experience still unlike any other in their remarkable basketball lives.
I've never had more fun being around anybody. Everybody got along, there was no ego, we had fun. You know, clearly everybody reminds me I never won a championship. So that to me was like winning the championship, winning the gold medal and hanging out with these guys.
The reward itself is really only a small part of the story. It's what the gold medal represents that will always tie these men together.
This is like, this fraternity, that's pretty awesome.
I don't think you're ever going to be able to get 11 Hall of Famers to play all at once, you know, on one team. That's unheard of.
Ha! We go on the bus. Ha! We come back. Ha! Walk out the hotel. Ha! Wave. Ha! Wave outside your window. Ha! I can't believe it. I lost it so magical. I just saw my God.
It changed sport as we know it. They showed the world how to play basketball. What other team can say that? I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again. It's an insult to compare anybody else to that team.
Take a good look. Perhaps we'll never see a team this great again.
No team will ever have that happen, hasn't had that happen, and that's the Dream Team.
Guys, so many thoughts have crossed my mind watching this. Not only a basketball team, a group of brothers, rock stars, Hall of Famers. No. They represent it, man. They make this sports global. And it started with two guys, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Because Michael Jordan wasn't going to take this ride. But I know he's glad that he did. And that was the perfect ending for Magic and Larry Bird. The perfect ending. I do think that this team was the most iconic. This is my thoughts. Was the competition top notch? It wasn't. It wasn't top notch. Were they tested? No. They weren't tested, guys. I have to admit, they weren't tested at all. The world was not caught up. I'm not quite sure how many international players were even in the NBA. It wasn't like how it is today. There's tons of them. Tons of them. When our teams play today, they're playing against other NBA players. The world has caught up. The competition is far and beyond the competition that they faced. But in my mind, that still is the most iconic team. For sure. I will give you that as a new era guy. I will give you guys that. I don't think that was one of the hardest trophies, championships run in Olympic history. I think my generation actually has done that. But this documentary has definitely touched me, man. I was up, I was down, I was laughing, I was angry. I was a little bit of everything. I'm so glad I watched this, starting with the Magic and Larry Bird documentaries. Doing a Larry Bird research, guys. This is how I got here. And I'm going to do the Bad Boy Pistons documentary. And I'm going to do what is a woman documentary. Not quite sure which one I'm going to do. Y'all will find out tomorrow once I drop. But I appreciate every single one of you giving me, advice on how to do these videos. Pausing, going back 5 seconds. Microphone issues. Giving me information on certain players. Giving me video ideas. And I will be doing other videos with Larry Bird and Larry Bird trash talking videos. I see you guys. I read most of the comments. And I take mental notes. So look out for that as well, man. So if you're enjoying the commentary, I'm enjoying you guys as well. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'm trying to build this community up and be as authentic as I can be, even when I'm wrong. I try to keep an open mind because it's important for me to keep one on this channel because I'm reacting to things that I never seen before. This is my first time seeing this. All this stuff I've done, this is the first time I've seen it. But I appreciate you guys. I'm about to get up out of here. It's JAMEENOD, boy.
It's JAMEENOD, and I'm back up in the building. Giving y'all hot topics and reactions, and I'm feeling. Comment your suggestions, and I got ya. And be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Oh my, I got another one.